Managing your Cisco assets can be a daunting and time-consuming task. Keeping track of renewal dates, end-of-life milestones, and support contracts can be a full-time job. Imagine if there was a platform that could automatically track everything you need all in one place. Introducing Acela, the revolutionary Cisco asset management tool. Acela effortlessly collates all your Cisco data, presenting it in a single, intuitive application. Instead of just telling you about its powerful features, let's show you how Acela can transform your workflow. Everyone understands what asset management means in the IT sphere, but when creating Acela, we wanted to take this several steps further. In our platform, you're able to see much more than just the serial number, the device itself, and the models. We take that information and link it with your support contract. We've done this by building advanced APIs for each of the key players in the market, such as Cisco, HP, Palo Alto, etc. With this, we can take any of the appliances you have on site, send that information up to the vendor's cloud, and then we can extract the exact contract and support options associated to that specific appliance. What's unique about Acela is that it enables you to perform asset management of your entire global IT estate from one location on one pane of glass. You can instantly see and be notified of any expiring or expired contracts across your whole organization. So let's take a look at an example appliance today within Acela and the huge amount of information we are able to see. This particular appliance here, we can see that this is a core switch, this is its serial number, this is the model number, it's a 3850. We can see the type of appliance it is and where it's located. We're also able to see something unique here, which is the contract information and when the contract is set to expire. This particular device has already expired because it's reached its end of life and end of support dates. And this is valuable information because when you decommission something or something is coming up to its end of life, you want to be able to know ahead of time when that is up for replacement and what you need to do to cover that. So if we go through here and we click on this particular device, we'll see a lot more information than we can see in the preview. We can see the full description that's supplied by the actual vendor. This is the exact model number. We're able to see that it's a Cisco appliance. We're able to see the contract, the status of it, and then we can start going into a little bit more detail. We can see the last date someone renewed this particular switch, the last day of support for it, the end of life date that's been announced. If there is not an announcement for end of life, this will just say NA. We can also see the last date that it will receive security updates from the vendor. This is quite important for organizations when they're looking to plan their end of life refreshes, because once the security updates stop, then vulnerabilities will not be patched any longer. We can also see the last time the contract was started and when it expired. We can also go a little bit deeper here. We can also see the OS version that is currently on the actual appliance. So it shows that this is on version 16.9.4 release FC2. In the same API that we use to pull the contract information, we're able to also pull down the suggested software information. This is quite important because if you have a large array of different appliances, you have to manually figure out what software vendor and software version you need to support to be compliant from a security perspective. What this allows you to do is open up the device on Acela and see that the recommended version by Cisco is 16.12.11. That's the actual image name, and that's the release date when it first came out. Now you can see there's a discrepancy here. We're currently on 16.9.4. The suggested software version is 16.12.1, and we should probably plan an upgrade if this device is still going to be used in a production environment. We can also see how it's being managed. It's managed by a tool called Logic Monitor. Right now we have Logic Monitor and SolarWinds integrated into the platform. And this gives you options on which direction you want to take in terms of populating the data within the system. For migration information, this is also extremely helpful. As you plan your end-of-life refresh and you worry about asset swaps, you need to figure out what you currently have and what options you have going forward. So if you wanted a direct replacement for this particular device from Cisco, you would come here and see that their recommendation has this product ID, which is a 48-port PoE Plus with a Network Advantage license. This makes things a lot easier than having to itemize things and going through multiple parties to figure out what your refresh window needs to look like. The last piece that you can see on here is the renewal history. It's important to figure out, and this is more relevant for larger organizations, who was the last person in the organization that requested the renewal, and who is generally responsible for the renewal of this appliance. So when you need to get approvals or you need to get authorizations, you know exactly the individual in the organization that you need to contact. So we can see here the author of the renewal was Sean Barr. The date it was created, and that would be the person we want to reach out to confirm if they want to renew the license. This covers the basics of the asset management module within Acela. As you can see, it's a much simpler and time-efficient method than the traditional manual management that a lot of people have to do. If you'd like more information about Acela or want to have a one-to-one demo, you can find all that information below. I hope that was helpful, and thank you for watching.